Okay, guys, let's talk about solving absolute value inequalities. How do we do that? Now, there are two types of absolute value inequalities. The first one will look like this. So it's going to be absolute value of something. I'm just going to put it just like that, something, either less than a number or less than or equal to a number. So let's just say that's less than a number. Then what that means is this something, that's going to be your next line. You need to drop the absolute value and just surround this something by 5 and negative 5. And the inequality will not change. It's still going to be less than. If it was less than or equal to, it'll be less than or equal to on both sides. So why is that? Well, you can think of absolute value as your distance to origin or distance to your house. So you could be less than 5 miles from your house, which means that you could be on the east side and still less than 5 miles. And on the west side, we're also still less than 5 miles. So it's like between negative 5 and positive 5 miles away from your house, okay? That's one type. The other type would be if it was something in absolute value greater than, or maybe greater than or equal to, for example, 6. What happens there? So you are saying I'm further away from my house by more than 6 miles. Well, that means that I could be more than 6 miles on the east, right? So that's just greater than or equal to 6. But I could also be less than or equal to negative 6. So I could be somewhere on the west side, right? And more than 6 miles away. Okay, so that's going to be, I don't know, that did not come out very well. Okay, so that's going to be that something is less than or equal to negative 6. So you're looking at the tails, either higher than 6 or less than negative 6. Now, what type of inequality do we have? It looks like we have the first type. So we're going to write down absolute value of 7x plus 14 less than 56. We're going to drop the absolute value and we're going to surround it by 56 and negative 56 on both sides. Now, this inequality we can solve simultaneously by subtracting 14 from all sides. Now, we do not have to worry about when you add or subtract a negative number, the inequality doesn't change. So the inequality signs will still be the same. The negative 14, positive 14 will cancel. Now, if you want to just compute this, what is 56 minus 14? That's 42. Okay, so compute that. And then negative 56 minus 14, that's negative 70. Okay, now the last step is to divide both sides, or actually all sides, by 7. And because we're dividing by positive number, nothing is going to change. So negative 70 divided by 7, that's negative 10. And then 42 divided by 7, that's 6. So this is my inequality. Now, when I graph it, I'm going to start at negative 10, go to 6. Okay? Now, I need to decide what happens on the ends. Is it going to be a solid dot or empty dot? Because this inequality is strict, so this is like less than, then we're going to place an empty dot for each side, okay? And then when we put it in interval notation, we're going to use parentheses. So if this were less than or equal to, that would have been square brackets, and it would have been a filled dot. Oops. Now I have to regraph everything because I placed it. Oh my God, no. Okay, that's unfortunate. All right, so first let me select this, negative 10 to 6, and then place empty dots. So I'm just saying that they would have been solid dots if this was less than or equal to.